Hi everyone. A friend of mine asked me to show her how to make the alcohol inks I've recently been making, so I thought I would just do a video because I need to start putting things on my YouTube channel anyway. It's been neglected of late with all these crises of my husband's been going through. So here's a sample of what I've been working on. I have 20 of these. What I did was I bought these little squirt bottles. They're on, I got 20 of them on Amazon for, I'll link it below once I remember, but, and alcohol. And you can get, doesn't matter the percentage. The higher percentage it is, the faster it's going to dry is the only difference. Some of these are with 50% that I got from the Dollar Tree, and some of this is 70% we had on hand. It really doesn't matter. It just depends on, sometimes you want the ink to sit on your project, you know, and not long enough for you to work with it for a little while before you want it to dry. But sometimes you want it to dry just immediately, as fast as possible. So it depends on, you know, your preferences. But you want to get some of this. And like I said, these little bottles. This is a 2-ounce. It's a squirt bottle. You can get them, I guess, at like Walmart in the trial section in the health and beauty aids. Like you can put hairspray in here if you're going to travel, things like that. So get yourself some of these little bottles. Here's the one by itself. And what I did was I went to the Dollar Tree and I got a pack of these markers for $1. And look at all the range. I used one of these already. Look at all the range of colors. But I learned these are skinnier. A lot of people are using Sharpies, which is ideal, but they're a little more expensive than I wanted to spend before I knew that this would work. But this is a bigger one. I got it at the Dollar Tree as well. So if you're going to use these, make sure you get 2 packs of them. That's what I wound up. I had to go back and get another one because it wasn't bright enough for me. It was pastel and very pastel. So if you use 2 of these, it's probably about the same wick size as one of these. So, okay, let's get to it. I need to make a Kelly green one, so I'm going to show you the difference in the wick when we take it apart. So get your bottle, your alcohol, fill it up about 3/4 of the way. You need to have room to shake it. I usually put it till when it starts to curve. I don't know if you can't see it. Right when the bottle starts to curve back up is where I've been stopping. Okay. And take the color that you want to use. I need a green one, so I'm going to... This is left over from my other one, so I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to show you the difference between this, because I just added a brown one to what I had sprayed brown to make it better. Because you can tell, well, this is a bigger marker, obviously. So the wick, you know, we'll see if the wick is bigger. I mean, I already know because I checked it. But first thing you do, after you get your alcohol set over here, take the lid off. Throw it away. Then take a pair of pliers. This particular pen, it's pretty easy. Marker, I mean. Take the nib off and put it in the alcohol bottle. I saw that where they said just unwrap it, you know, cut it and you make a mess. But if you just leave the wick and the nib in there, it's not going to hurt anything. It might help it shake up easier. And then you come up here to the end and grab hold of this black end that closes it. Make sure you have the pen pointed downward or else the wick is going to come flying out at you. And this, see, it comes out really easy on this one. Just throw that away. And then you're left with just the tube and the wick. I call it a wick. I don't know if that's really what you call it. But this is where your mess is going to happen. So that's where all your ink is, besides in the nib. And you can throw this tube away. Now here's this one. This was a little harder for me to get apart, but I did, but it's considerably bigger. So you throw the cap away. And I had a really hard time getting any at the end here, the nib, so you may not get much luck there, but this one's a little harder. You just got to play at it. Now watch, now that I'm on camera, it's probably not even going to work. Wait a minute. It looks like it's working better. It's wider, so it's harder to get my pliers around. You just got to play with it till you see it. There, it came off. And now throw that away. There it is. See, it's a lot bigger. So if you're going to use this one, you can use just one. But if you're going to use these skinny ones, you want to use 2 or 3 depending on the strength, because it's 2 or 3 times size the bigger. So I'm just going to put mine together. But see, you can pull part of this nib, but it's just going to fall apart on you. It did me. It's just not worth trying to salvage the ink from that. So I'll throw that away. So then, this can be messy depending on if you're going to leave I'm calling it a wick, whether you're going to leave it in the bottle or not. And I do. And just cut it so that the whole thing is going to be under the alcohol level. This one probably is. I cut it before, but yeah, see? And then you want to clean up your tools. I just have one of those little bottles. I put alcohol and I put a label on it that says clean up. This ink set, and this is just a ceramic plate, and it comes in so handy for inks and watercolors because it wipes right off with a little alcohol, and then you're not making such a big mess. Okay, then you put your lid, with and depending on your bottle, you may want to cut some of this off, and I think I've already done it because you want to be able to shake it and not have it being in the way. So then you just shake it, and then you need to just leave it sit and let all the juicy ink come out of the wick and be absorbed by the blended in with the alcohol. If you look, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can see that it's starting, the wick in there starting to get a little white. Yeah, in that shot, I think you can see it just a little bit. It's starting to. All the ink is starting to come out because you can see some white on the ends. But yeah, that's all there is to it. And then what I've been doing, I got a piece of cardstock and I sprayed some of it on, and then I made I didn't write out like this is red or pink or whatever. I just took a packing tape and put packing tape over it after I sprayed it on here and let it dry. And then a little star, and the star isn't important, it's just that was the smallest punch I had. I punched the star so that if I have it stored this way, I can see what color it is. If it's upright, I can see what color it is. And if I have it stored, this end out, I can always see what color it is. So, you don't have to go to that. I'm a little, what do you call it? I'm a little too picky is what I am. So I'm going to take a break, and we'll come back after this gets really soaked in there. Okay, I'm back. Now this has been sitting for a while, so I think it's ready to go. I sprayed it right here to check it before I started shooting another video. So let's see how it does here in real time. Isn't that pretty? And this stuff is really expensive in the store. It can be like $8, $8 plus for a bottle. It's probably smaller than this. And you can also get this little squirt bottles if you want to drop it by droppers, and you can put some in that too. But there you go. Isn't that pretty? And see, I don't know how much I spent for this, but I'll figure it out and I'll come right back with that. Okay, I just did the math, and wow, the homemade bottle, of alcohol ink is 93 cents. I just looked on the website on Amazon for Tim Holtz, and they had a 3-pack for, well, it worked out to be $3.79 a bottle for that 3-pack, and that's just for a ½ ounce bottle. So if you multiply that for times 4 to get the 2 ounces that I have homemade, that's $15.16. So if you're doing it at home, your own, you're going to save $14.23 a bottle by making it yourself. I hope that's helped. It sure helped my pocketbook.